What's up, everybody? Hey, I am Kyle Shipp. You guys, you know the beard, you know the voice, and if you don't, you're probably a little bit lucky in that. But man, I am the media director for MFC and get a chance to bring to you one of the co-owners of the Masters Fitness Championship, Jamie Free. Jamie's got a really awesome announcement with some exciting stuff ahead, but wanted to bring this to you guys in video form so you could, one, see his beautiful face, two, hear his voice as he gives you an explanation. So, Jamie, what you got for us, brother?
Kyle, I appreciate it, man. I'm really excited about this. I think this is going to be one of the things that kind of sets MFC apart. We have always been a competition that's been in September or October. So post games, really kind of like an end of season-ish for people who don't make the games, but this year, we're actually making a big change. We're going to be moving the event. No, not out of Fort Wayne. I know everyone's like, well, where are we going? It's still going to be in Fort Wayne. It's just not going to be in 2026. And, that's okay. We're going to have some stuff that's coming up that's going to take up 2026. It's going to allow us to still have some fun, let you guys win some prizes and some money. But one of the big things and where MFC actually started was a little competition you guys may know called Granite Games. All right. So we all kind of met at, competing against each other. Bobby, myself, Eamon and Heath. And now it's just Bobby and I, but we all met and we all competed against each other and we all struck up a friendship like most of you have at our event. When you go to these events, it's a social experiment, and it's amazing to meet other inspirational athletes. And what we're trying to do is put an MFC spin on that. So the big news: no MFC in live person event in 2026. We are moving to June of 2027. All right, so this will be a summer event. We are going to be on a college campus. We are going to have an amazing facility. I'm super excited to bring a festival style competition back to, what we kind of all started with. Um, you know,
Yeah, Jimmy, so you talked about it, Granite Games. It's funny, you talked about that. We've talked about some of the other people that were there. I was actually there at that Granite Games that they got to know. Now, I was hanging out in the intermediate division. Now, don't get me wrong, I was winning the intermediate division with a couple of my buddies, but I was there with those guys, and that's something that's a little bit nostalgic, I think, for a lot of the Masters athletes because we either were there or we saw it over the couple of years when they were really running in kind of that mode. What are some of the things that you're hoping to bring to MFC that we saw with Granite Games?
Well, I mean, number one, obviously the community, having a larger space that's going to give us the opportunity to do lot more outdoor events. One of those fun things I still have pictures of this from Granite Games was a 5K run we had that year in 2018. And, we couldn't do that at the facilities that we've been at. It's also cold in September and October in Fort Wayne, and it's going to be nice and warm. It's about 80s during June, so it's going to be very comfortable. There's going to be a lot of opportunities there, but there's going to be, multiple fields, multiple floors. It's going to be an event that's going to kind of set the standard. Granite Games did a great job of providing opportunity, and I think we're going to do the same.
Yeah, you talked earlier, you mentioned it just a little bit, but I think it's a big thing to ask the question of. You talked about the difference, not just in terms of the weather between October and June. Tell me a little bit about in terms of, just the way that people's lives and the rhythm of life, but also the way that the CrossFit season and, kind of the right in the thick of the season versus, at the end of the season. How does that play out in your mind?
Well, I mean, we're going to have more announcements coming up on why, what this is going to benefit and how, once, we have more conversations, how this is going to lead into what's next. But, for me, when I see a competition this summer, that means families can come. That means kids aren't in school. That means there's no football practice for certain coaches. It's going to give the opportunity for more people to enjoy this event. Everyone kind of give us an idea. Like if you remember old school regionals, that's what MSC feels like. We love that old school feel, and we're going to continue that with this event.
No, and that's absolutely amazing. Is we kind of move towards what some of that looks like and how some of that goes. So tell me this then. What are your thoughts in terms of the changing of the season for how it's going to help actually a lot of our volunteers? As
Mhm.
we know that man, volunteers really enjoy doing these events. We see a lot of repeat volunteers. How's that going to
Mhm.
help in terms of continuing to gather in volunteers?
Yeah, I mean, during June, there's not a lot going on. The semifinals have just kind of ended. June is kind of like a almost like a little dead period for large competitions. So, we can have a lot more of those judges, those volunteers, those people who, are normally, doing stuff during that time frame in October. They're not going to be doing that in June. So it gives us the opportunity to have a more well-rounded group. We have fantastic directors. I'm excited to move forward this year with a few new people as well. So, I think it's only going to be beneficial for everyone involved, this move to June.
Yeah. And so, not to give away any insider information, because I think you can hear it on Jamie's voice. And here's the deal: if you can hear joy in Jamie's voice, Jamie, I love Jamie. Jamie is a
It's
joyful guy,
rare.
but he also kind of, yeah, if you know Jamie, he's kind of got the huggable, grumpy thing to him. Jamie's actually been really happy about this. Jamie, so tell me a little bit, just from your mindset. You
Yeah.
have seemed excited about this transition. Kind of what's going on in your mind as you're going through this, and one, as you had to make the decision about moving it from October to June, and kind of what was your initial kind of heart feeling when you made that choice?
I mean, it's hard to not do something you've been doing for 6 years, So changing that from a September, October date, it was a hard decision to make, because I love the predictability of people looking forward to this event, looking forward to our qualifier. Um, but in terms of atmosphere, in terms of environment, and in terms of the venue, I think that there is just an immense opportunity for everybody to have such a good time. This is going to be like a fitness party. Before Wadapalooza got really big and got kind of corporate-ish, and I love Wadapalooza, don't get me wrong. It was a festival. It was a party. It was a bunch of us going down there and good weather and having some fun, fitnessing and suffering together. And I think that sometimes that gets lost. And that's not what I want for MFC. That's not what Bobby wants for MFC. So, this move, while it was tough to think about and tough to plan out, is really going to be exceptional for the Masters community.
Man, and that's amazing as again, man, the nostalgia of going back to kind of what some of those things were. I mean, I think, for those of you that have seen me, I'm kind of out of my competition era, but my competition era back in the 2018, 2019, kind of 21, early 22, you start thinking about the way that events looked and really excited about that. Okay, so final thing, as people are kind of processing, I know we kind of threw a lot at them all at once. I want to go back to one thing. You did say, okay, no in-person competition in 2026, but
Mhm.
you didn't say that there was no competitions in 2026.
I did not. I did not say that at all because I do want MFC to leave a great taste in everyone's mouth. So we are going to do an online competition. I don't know an exact date for that yet. That may be in December as a qualifier for this event too. So, and it may be a standalone. And there's a few different things that we're working on that's going to help with that. But the goal with an online event is you're going to win money. This is a I'm going to try this out, see if I can go up against the best in the world and see who's going to take home a check. I think that's going to be really important.
Wait, you mean you're going to put on an event where masters can win money?
That is what we're doing.
Holy moly. Oh boy. So a lot of changes all over the place. So here's the deal. Real quick wrap up for everybody that is listening, watching, still trying to break things down, I'm sure. One, there's not an in-person event in October, so there's not a qualifier that is coming up here in the near future.
Nope.
However, there is going to be some online activities that are
Hmm.
going to happen throughout the year. Keep posted for those. Keep watching for those where you're going to see a lot of information coming out about that.
Hmm.
But June 2027, all right? June of 2027, start at least looking at that, not letting you know any specific dates yet. There's still a lot of things going on in the work, but look at June 2027 MFC in a whole new way is going to be happening, and we're all going to get a chance to be together. You're going to be able to bring your family out. There's going to be a ton of people out there. It's going to be a ball. And if Jamie Free has a smile on his face when he's talking about this stuff, I mean, look at those beautiful pearly whites. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Jamie, what else you got for me? You got anything else, Bubba?
Honestly, we still have Mayhem Athlete as our programming partner. They're going to be programming an online event as well as the main event. So, really excited about our partners, really excited about sponsors. There'll be prizes, there'll be cash for the online stuff. And, honestly, everybody's gonna have a good time. And that's what this is all about.
Absolutely, man. MFC always been about the community first, continuing to move forward with the community in mind, and make some changes that are good, beneficial, maybe painful for the moment. I know a lot of us were looking forward to 2026, but man, thinking about what 2027 could look like, I'm super excited now. Dude, Jamie, thank you so much for hopping on. Thank you for the conversation, and looking forward to giving you guys all the information as it continues to come. Stick with us on the MFC Instagram page, Facebook page, YouTube, as we're going to continue to start pumping some stuff out once again. But everybody, man, continue to work out. Good luck in the open, and we're going to be seeing you really soon in Fort Wayne.
Yeah, and if you're walking all right after that first workout, you should do it again.
Oh, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you, Kyle. Thank you.
Yeah, man.